Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Englewood Cliffs Mayor and Council. Today,
That's on my screen.
There's someone coming
There's a
up.
Bob Owens popping up on our screen.
yeah, that's okay. Again, welcome, everyone. This is the regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs. Today is April 15th, 2020, approximately 8:10 p.m. We are doing this meeting virtually through Zoom meeting services, and we are also doing this through a dial-in phone number. What we are doing is having the public be able to see and hear us on Zoom and be muted during the meeting until public comment. And at that time, there'll be an opportunity for the public to ask questions as usual. So with that, I thank everyone for their patience as we go into the world of virtual meetings, and I call the meeting to order. At the Borough Council Chambers is Lizette Duffy, our municipal clerk, and me, the mayor. Cameron Arabi is here because we may need some assistance with technology. On Zoom, at various locations, most likely at their homes, are Councilman Wu, Councilman Farrow, Councilman Song, Councilwoman O, Councilman Aversa, and Councilwoman Sabari. Also on Zoom is our Borough Council, Joseph Marinello. So that's basically where we're at. We're going to go through the flag salute as we always do, so I'll lead that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I also want to, as we always do, since I've been mayor, is pay respect and tribute to people who have passed, who either live in our community or have lived in our community. Tonight, we mourn resident Peter Turco, who passed away from non-COVID reasons. And we also mourn Mary Lorenzo, who is Ed Aversa's aunt, and Maria Farrow, who's Ramon Farrow's 101-year-old aunt, who was otherwise healthy, but unfortunately succumbed to COVID. And please also, in our moment of silence and tribute, think of the thousands who have died from COVID-19 related causes and complications. And sadly, based on an obituary that was provided to me, I believe there is one fatality in Englewood Cliffs, and I'm trying to confirm that officially, so I won't mention the name until that's official. So just a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have a roll call?
Mayor Kranjak,
Here.
Councilpersons Farrow,
Here.
Savari,
Here.
O, Councilwoman O. She muted herself.
Gloria, can you hear us? Unmute yourself.
Here.
Okay, thank you.
Councilperson Song,
Here.
Aversa,
Here.
Wu, Councilperson Wu, Borough Attorney.
I muted myself. I was muted, so I couldn't.
No, you must have, okay. Borough Attorney,
Here.
a municipal clerk. Everyone's present, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, and welcome again, everybody. The COVID-19 emergency appears at the end of our agenda tonight, but it is really the single most important matter in our lives right now, so I'll address it now and not later. So it goes without saying, but I'll say it, I hope that you and your families are all well and getting through this emergency as best as possible. As of today, we have an official count of 35 COVID-19 positive residents. There's been a large spike over the last couple of days, so we're at 35 now, and hopefully that's it. On March 4th, New Jersey had its first COVID-19 case. Yesterday, April 14th, New Jersey had 68,824 cases. And as of yesterday, there were 2,805 deaths in New Jersey, of which 538 were associated with long-term care facilities. And we had a special call with the Commissioner of Health yesterday regarding those numbers and the long-term care facilities. So if you have any family members in long-term care facilities, try to pay special attention to what's going on there. There have been gaps in preparedness, but there has also been tremendous resiliency by our doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals. And on behalf of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs, I thank them all, especially the healthcare professionals who are our neighbors, who live in Englewood Cliffs. As I have been writing to you over the past few weeks, our Office of Emergency Management and I have been coordinating the borough's COVID-19 response efforts. To continue monitoring and addressing the emergencies, I have been on weekly or near weekly calls with our county executive, governor's office, and state health commissioner. There's also been calls with legislators and others, but it's really the executives that you want to talk to in a time like this, people who actually make decisions, and not just people who talk about the decisions that other people made. So I focused on those people, as those are the ones who actually provide us with the personal protection equipment and anything else that we need, and that our police department now has. It's been a bit of a balancing act. Unlike many towns, we have responded to the COVID-19 emergency in such a way as to not disrupt your lives any more than the emergency has. We have done so in such a way to protect everyone's health, but also everyone's privacy. So I'm not going to be a mayor who tells you where everybody who's got COVID-19 positive results lives. That's not fair to them, and it also doesn't necessarily impact you as long as you follow the social distancing guidelines. What's really been remarkable is the outpouring of volunteers and support from our own community. I have implemented a grocery shopping assistance program for our senior citizens, and so any senior citizen who needed assistance with groceries could contact our hall and be matched up with a volunteer, and that's worked out quite lovely, and it's a nice thing to see. I just ask that our volunteers not hug all the seniors when you bring their groceries to them, because that defeats the purpose of social distancing. You hug them after, and I'm sure they'll want to be hugged. Also, what's been amazing is our Chinese American community has been delivering donated face masks to any resident requesting a face mask. So if you're a resident who needs a face mask, just contact Borough Hall, and we'll send someone out from that community to provide you with as many face masks as you need. So that's been also a wonderful thing. So just to close on this topic, we live in an unprecedented situation during our lifetimes, which worries and frightens us, and which isolates us, but at the same time unites us in our efforts to face the great challenge represented by this pandemic. I'm very proud of how our community has dealt with these emergencies, and hopefully society will reopen soon, and our lives will all return to normal. With that said, I will continue down the agenda. I need the Open Public Meetings Act statement.
Adequate notice of this meeting was given to the press and posted as required. Date and time of this meeting was legally given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. This notice is on file with the municipal clerk and posted by the bulletin board. Minutes of this meeting will be made available to the public upon the completion of typing and proofreading by the municipal clerk.
Great, thank you. I should also mention, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it, that the background photo that I have and that Councilman Wu has was actually a photo taken by Councilman Farrow from the Cloisters Museum looking out at the cliffs, and it's just a smaller version of what we have across our council courtroom here. So thank you, Councilman Farrow. We all received department head reports. Did any council member have any questions regarding those? If you do, we don't have department heads here tonight, but we could take your questions and get answers for you. Any questions? Okay, thank you. I just wanted to, before we open to the public, also mention that last week, Senator Weinberg, Assemblywoman Huddle, and Assemblyman Johnson jointly requested that we provide them with statistics regarding our the town's residential mortgage payments and taxes, and to see if there was any kind of legislation that they could actually introduce to assist our town and other towns. And I did answer all their questions, but the more important thing is I also recommended to them what we and other towns in New Jersey need right now. And what I'll do is I'll just read you a snippet of my response to them, and you could actually open this document if you want. I thank you for your thoughtful email. There is much more to the current crisis than you acknowledge or recognize in your email. The legislation needed includes a complete moratorium on all affordable housing litigations and settlements until the New Jersey legislature finally does its job and creates a proper state affordable housing plan. The legislation should also strip the Fair Share Housing Council of any standing, as it is nothing more than a shadow lobby group and political action committee. During this dire health and economic time, the continued creation of ever-rising costs for municipalities resulting from the New Jersey Affordable Housing Scheme is an insult to every taxpaying resident of Englewood Cliffs and of New Jersey. Each of you and your courts and our courts continue promoting more high-density living in a time of social distancing, and that makes no sense. You're all out of step with reality and need to get back to serving the people of New Jersey and their needs, not your needs, not fair share housing needs, and not your developer friends' needs. They go on to say that our residents and I demand that elected officials and not appointed judges make these decisions as prescribed by the Guarantee Clause and Due Process Clause of the United States Constitution. Everyone's constitutional rights should be protected. No one should be discriminated against, and no one should have their home values destroyed by government taking. If you really want to help the disadvantaged and face harsh realities head-on, you should solve food insecurity and provide remote learning connectivity for school children who are now unable to learn during an emergency. And then you could turn to job training. While none of these worthwhile goals help your high-density housing developer friends earn billions, you should know that you would receive overwhelming and very willing, generous support for those goals from everyone in all communities. It's certainly time for you to readjust your priorities. So I actually asked our own council to also, in any way they wanted, to reiterate however they wanted my point, which is that there should be a moratorium on all affordable housing litigation and settlements right now. And so far, I know that Councilman Farrow and Councilman Wu have done so. Unless I'm mistaken, Councilwoman Sabari, Councilwoman O, Councilman Aversa, and Councilman Song did not reach out to any of those legislators to support a moratorium. And I remind you all that everyone on this council, including me as mayor, ran on the platform of opposing affordable housing as it's being shoved at us. So I would expect you all to get behind your keyboards and write to your legislators, okay? Thank you. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
So that was Aversa and Sabari.
No,
Okay.
Wu and Sabari.
Wu and Sabari. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Mayor, if I may say, if people from the public want to speak, they should raise their hand, then I can open.
I
Okay.
can hear you, Rebecca.
All right, so there's two ways to ask a question. If you're on Zoom, you could actually take your cursor and raise your hand,
I'll let them,
and then our borough clerk will, one at a time, permit you to speak. When you do speak, please just state your name and your address. And then what we'll do is also unmute the phone for anyone on the phone line to do the same. So, so far so good. The meeting's been going smoothly, and I do miss seeing everybody here because usually there's a lot of animation going on, and I'm missing a lot of that right now. But if you need to ask a question or have a comment, please raise your hand.
I just lost it. I just lost it.
Got him?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do need a mouse.
Okay.
Okay, if anybody wants to...
I see Mr. Perino's raising his hand.
Yes? Are you raising your hand, Russ? No.
He is, he's talking. Does anybody wish to ask a question? Please raise your hand.
You all participants, I'm getting that message.
Yeah, so Mr. Perino, did you have a question?
I did, yes.
Okay, we could hear you. Can the council hear Mr. Perino?
Yes.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Mr. Perino.
Name and address, please.
Name and address, please.
Russell Perino, 220 Fairview Avenue. I want to thank Lizette, who's working with Ms. Gancarella, Secretary to the Planning Board. We're in the process of getting geared up and being ready for our regular meeting of May the 14th, to be done also via Zoom. Lizette, thank you for helping. We're not done with it yet, obviously. We look forward to your comments, what went well, what didn't, so that we can get ourselves up and, and have our regular meeting in May. For anyone who wishes to participate, it'll be 7:30 on May 14th. Thank you.
So there's an application under Zoom to raise your hand. It's a little blue hand or a little yellow hand. If you're able to raise your hand to ask a question, I'll unmute you.
I also see some thumbs up, so we'll accept a thumbs up as raising your hand if you want. I see Councilwoman O is clapping her hands. Gloria, do you want to say anything?
No, okay. No, nothing right now.
Okay.
I was trying to get Lizette to unmute me. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not muting the council, so they must be hitting something to...
Yeah, so council, don't mute yourself because we're not muting you.
Right, I'm not muting the council, and they're muting themselves.
So Lizette, is anyone from the public raising their hand?
No. You want to just ask them again? And
Okay.
on the phone?
So if anyone on Zoom from the public wishes to ask a question, just hit the raise hand icon. Okay, I'm going to unmute the phone.
The conference has been unmuted.
Okay, so thank you for your patience, everyone on the phone line. If you wish to ask a question, you're now unmuted. Just basically state your name and address. If someone else is speaking, just wait for some free silent space to jump in. Is there anyone from the public on the phone wishing to ask a question?
Can I ask a question on Maria Chacales, 316 Center Street?
Yes,
Hope everyone's safe and well.
thank you.
Are taxes still due at the same time as usual? Is there a grace period for the COVID virus, or is it just everything still the same?
So right now, it's the same that we're discussing. Okay, so thank you for your question. Regarding taxes, in case people didn't hear the question, The taxes right now are still due as usual. However, we are discussing it this evening. I think there's some flexibility to roll out the due date on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. It's a good question. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Anyone else on the phone line, please jump in. Okay, so if you're on the phone, I'm not sure how many people we have, but I'm going to put everyone back on mute unless in the next minute I hear anybody want to ask a question. Okay, then everyone else who's not speaking, just mute your phones.
Mayor,
Yes, sir, what's your name?
Mayor,
Yes, hi.
George Mahone, if I may,
Yes, hi, George.
not a question, it's a comment. I'd like to publicly thank Lieutenant Tracy, the Deputy Coordinator of OEM in the Police Department, for his tireless work that he's done with keeping us informed from the county and the state.
Okay, and I reiterate that gratitude. So on the phone, in case the people on Zoom didn't hear, we have George Demones, our former fire chief, who's now part of the OEM team. And he had just thanked Lieutenant Tracy, who was our OEM coordinator, for keeping us up to date. And, you know, it's been a lot of work for our police department and our fire department to basically deal with the crisis, and they've done a great job. So thank you, Lieutenant Tracy, and thank you, firemen and police officers. Thank you. And I know the council reiterates that also, because they're all shaking their heads. Although they're muted, which I don't know why.
I think they're muting themselves.
I guess they muted themselves.
Yeah.
Thank you, George. Okay, anyone else from the public? I'm being very, I just want to make sure you all have a chance to speak, so I'm being a little bit more lax than usual in terms of moving things along.
Just tell them again on Zoom, and if anybody wants to speak.
Okay, so I think everyone on the phone is fine. I'm going to put everyone on the phone back on mute, so there's no feedback.
The conference has been muted.
And then, on Zoom, before we close out the public portion, is there anyone, who
Mr.
wishes?
Luciano wants to...
Mr. Luciano, yes? State your name and address, please.
No, I was just clapping that you were being calm and waiting for people to comment, that's all. I didn't have anything to say, but thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else, who wishes to speak?
Hold on.
Gloria, you're clapping again. Did you want to speak?
No, I'm okay, Mayor.
Okay. I know we need more icons. We got clap, we got hands up.
Yeah, just stick to little blue hands if you want to speak.
Okay, so on my screen, I don't see any other hands up. Lizette, do you see any? No, okay. Can I have a motion to close the public portion, please? All in favor? I'm sorry, was that, Gloria, did you second or did you move?
Moved.
Okay. Who seconded that?
Savari.
Okay. Okay, so the public portion is now done. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Hopefully, next month we'll all be here in person, which is always more animated than this, right? So, our next item on the agenda is payment of claims.
I think William, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Councilman Wu?
Yeah, there's a little technical difficulty in terms of, I'm not muting myself, but being muted, so I just want to let everyone know.
No, so is Councilman Aversa. He's on...
Yeah, I think the host control, I think there's,
No, I'm not...
I'm assuming there's host control between you, the mayor, and Cameron all separately?
I don't have any...
I had the same problem, I just got unmuted now.
Okay.
Right, I'm not muting the council members.
Yeah. So, only Lizette has control over muting. And right now, Right now, no one on council is muted, except, Lizette, you're muted right now.
Mayor, I was muted, I know no one muted me, but I couldn't unmute myself.
Oh.
That, just like Councilman Wu, that I was being
Okay,
muted by that, but, same problem, same technical issue.
okay. Did either of you have anything you wanted to say when you were muted? You can say it now if you wish.
Now, good, I'm good.
Okay.
I have one comment, Mayor. I'm looking now that we're living in this new world with the virtual meetings, probably have this going on for a while. The payment of claims that we're going to go into, it would be helpful if we could have a little bit more detail in the payment of claims, i.e., for example, how much is being spent on any matters related to affordable housing. I think everyone in the town cares about that greatly. I don't know if that's something that we can change the format of that actual line item in the agenda.
But you
So that just
have,
has a little bit more than just a blanket figure.
Sorry, Deb?
well, you have that information, am I correct?
We have we have the report on the finance, but that's just a complete list of everything paid. It's not,
It's pretty easy to figure
it's not,
out.
yeah, it's not so helpful, because it's a huge list that sums up to the 4.165 million. I think it would be nice for our residents to kind of see that, you know, more, in a more transparent fashion. And there could be other line items as well, but I just think that that is one of the key line items for us going forward.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, but I think if you're going to release it, just release it. You know, there's a lot of other information in there. Of course, that 3.9 million of current funds is not, of course, all affordable housing. There is a chunk of money in there for affordable housing, which you're aware of, and the public also is more than able to get the same information that you have as a council person. So if we're going to change the procedure, it needs to be changed across the board. You don't just take one piece of it, you take everything and make it available to the public. I don't have a problem either way.
Well, it seems, that's fine, but it seems like what Councilman Wu is asking for is just another Excel screen that basically summarizes certain expenses, right?
So I think we should
That's right.
summarize how to do it. It's really like maybe 10% of that $3.4 million is for affordable housing. So it's, you know, if
I think from
you want transparency, then let's show them everything, not just the affordable housing. That's all I'm saying.
Councilwoman Savari, I'm totally fine with that. I think if the town, if it gets broken down into additional line items other than affordable housing, I think that's great as well. I think, you know, but I think affordable housing, and certainly in my mind, if it's making up 10% of the checks that are going out, and in certain months, potentially even more, I think it would be nice for our residents to know what the number is.
I have no problem with that. It's a big part of our budget. I think they should be well aware of it.
Okay, so, Councilman Wu, perhaps you could relay for our next meeting to the CFO or to the Borough Administrator what additional summary Excel spreadsheet you'd like. The information is all there, it just needs to be assembled.
I think we need to vote on that, Mayor. You know, we're going to change procedure. I'm fine with that. Let's vote on it, and we'll take it from there.
It's really not a vote, because the information is all there, it's just a matter of presentation. So votes are taken when you're actually doing something affirmatively differently than what you did in the past. Here, you're just basically, you're just assembling and presenting your information in a recap fashion, as opposed to 50 pages of check entries, right?
It's not 50 pages, Mayor. You're very well aware of how many pages it is.
Well, sometimes it is, I mean...
I hear what you're saying, and again, I'm not against it. I'm just saying that we should discuss it and change it. But, it doesn't say, oh, call up the CFO and tell them to change it, because it just doesn't quite work that way.
Well, it does, actually, but if you want to have a vote, you can have a vote. Let's see who wants transparency. Make a motion, please.
Make a motion for what? I'm just saying we should discuss it. There is a finance chair and the council, and we should look at this and figure out how we're going to change it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you wanted to have a vote, because you said the word vote.
I think we're overcomplicating things. All I asked for was one line item, which shows how much we're spending on affordable housing. That, to be added to the first page of the agenda. That's all.
That's fine, and for council members, Song, Sabari, O, and Aversa, please do reach out to Weinberg, Huddle, and Johnson. They are our legislators. They should be giving us relief right now from affordable housing.
What we have done or what we're doing. So thank you for your comments.
Well, I think we're at a public meeting with our town right now, so I'd love for you to share with the town what you have done.
Ms. Nash, let me tell you once again, you created this, so don't tell me how to handle it.
No, in 1976, I was 11 years old, so that's where the mess goes back to. Look, you said something important. I know you said something, you threw the Molotov, and now I'm going to take you up on it.
You threw it.
You need to contact Weinberg, Huddle, and Johnson. They forget who we are.
What I have done.
Well, good. Tell us what you have done. We're at a public meeting now. This is a great opportunity for you to share with everybody what you've done.
I'm not playing your political game.
There's no politics. This is affordable housing. We are trying to stop it right now because we cannot afford the disaster that they're wreaking onto this town.
It's politics, let's move on. I'm not entertaining you.
Well, here's the thing, right? Weinberg, Huddle, and Johnson asked me what legislation... Can you mute her? Can you mute her? I'm trying to talk.
Second.
So they asked us what legislation we needed. Huddle, Johnson, and Weinberg asked me what legislation we needed. And I told them, we need the following. We need a moratorium on all affordable housing litigation and settlements. Now, I don't understand why you, Councilwoman Sabari, Aversa, and Song won't write to them and reiterate that in a non-political way. Just tell them that this is not the right time to be taking more money, more value from our residents. Okay? It's got to stop now. Nobody anticipated this pandemic, but we have it here, and that's one of the things that we need to deal with. Thank you. Please do so. And at the next meeting, tell us you did so.
Listen, you cannot unmute me. You can't mute me, man.
I didn't mute you.
That's not the way this works.
I asked Lizette to...
I'm doing it, but you need to stop.
You were speaking over me. You were speaking over me.
That's not the way it works.
So now you have the floor.
Mayor, you said what you wanted us to do. Please move on with the agenda.
Well, Councilwoman Sabari said she has done things for affordable housing. Now, other than hiring Al Wunsch to go destroy this town further, what have you done?
Muting the rest of the council.
I don't have control over mute, okay? I asked Lizette to mute you for a minute because you're talking over me, and it's not fair to the public to have elected you and you're not doing anything.
I'm not entertaining your request. Okay, so let's move on.
Well, I think the public would want you to fight for them, okay? But that was the platform. When you ran for office, you said you would fight for them, and you're not fighting for them. Moreover, the lawyers that you are instructing...
Creating false narratives.
Really?
They're trying to allow the people to believe that they have some hope. But you know what? It's not happening.
You do have hope. You do have hope. Unfortunately, we have a pandemic, which actually is something that we cannot afford as a town.
You're using the pandemic for political purposes. Please stop. Can we please move on?
Well, I think our town, with all the crises that are happening right now, from health and economics...
Approved resolution for payment of claims. It's been second. Can we please vote?
It actually wasn't even moved, okay?
It was.
It was moved and I second.
Well, the dollar amount wasn't even stated, guys, so let's do it the right way for once, okay? Here's how we do it. Resolution 20-71, March 12, 2020 through April 15, 2020, $4,165,062.55. Can I have a motion to approve that, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Can I have a roll call?
Councilpersons Pharaoh,
I can't hear you, he said.
Councilman Farrow, we are approving, or voting to approve the payment of claims.
Councilman Pharaoh,
Yes,
Yes or no?
well, I have, a yes and a no. No to March and Serenian, and yes.
Okay, so that was a no to Wunsch and Serenian's bill, and yes to everything else. And I agree with you on that.
Sabari,
Okay with Chopper's bills, which are the biggest. So you're okay with Chopper, right, Farrell?
No.
That's about $200,000.
Well,
I'm not okay with that either.
that one too.
You should read the bill list before we have the meeting.
I did.
Ms. Sabari, could you please be nice to your fellow council members? Thank you.
Well, I think she was.
No, I think she's being pejorative.
I gave him a chance to step back and say he doesn't approve that either.
what did you say about Chopper?
He said he doesn't approve it.
Of course not.
Sabari,
Yes.
O,
Yes.
Sung,
Yes.
Aversa,
Yes.
Wu,
No, with respect to all the bills, for the law offices of Al Wunsch, Chiesa as well, and Serenian.
how
All
about,
three, and like I said before, I hope we can get those broken down for the public.
do you approve the rest of the bill list?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
We have to keep the town moving.
Okay, thank you. It passes, Mayor.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
may I just, I'm not sure if Ms. Duffy knows that on the screen it's showing her as muted. And it's a little harder to hear her than everyone else. Do you know that that's...
Yeah. Yeah, she's been muting and unmuting as she speaks.
The reason I'm muted is because there's an echo if both the mayor and I are on.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine. I
yeah.
just wanted to make sure you knew it was there.
Yeah, she's controlling that, so when she wants to speak, she actually unmutes or yells louder. Okay. All right. So next up, are resolutions 2020-72. 2020-72, authorized not to exceed amount for Jeff Serenian Esquire, Gray Affordable Housing Matters. I oppose that. I don't think he's doing a very good job for this borough.
Second.
Who moved it?
Okay. I second.
Councilpersons Farrell,
No?
Sabari, O,
Yes.
Sung,
Yes.
Aversa,
Yes.
Wu,
No.
Resolution 2020-73, authorized not to exceed amount for Chiesa Shahinian and Gian Tomasi, PC LLC, Ray Affordable Housing Matters. I also oppose this. I don't think anyone's been fighting for this borough.
Second.
Councilpersons Farrell,
No?
Sabari,
Yes.
O,
Yes.
Sung,
Yes.
Aversa,
Yes.
Wu,
No, and, just want to have a point of order for the next resolution.
Yes, Councilman Wu.
I just have a question. Typically, when we have any type of authorization, resolution to authorize a settlement, we usually have, discussions on it from, our attorneys to understand the background. In this case, we just have one email recently and not much more color on the background here. So my suggestion is to table this resolution.
Is that a motion?
Did we have this discussion in closed session last meeting, or am I mistaken?
No.
Yes, we did. And it was in detail, actually.
That's what I mean, so where we didn't hear anything, you're all there.
I don't think we came to a conclusion on it in closed session at Councilman Rickman. There must be something that happened between, now, between the last meeting and the resolution.
We were in closed session, having the discussion, that's what I don't understand. Is there more information that I'm missing? or-
Well, the big information was that there were no dollar amounts
There
discussed.
were no numbers discussed at all.
No, actually, there were.
Yeah, I could have sworn we had.
Actually, there were.
No, I think you're probably thinking about those side conversations that you have with attorneys that we don't actually get to participate in, but we never talked about numbers. We never talked about numbers in closed session.
Yes, we did.
Those exact numbers were discussed very specifically in the last.
Yeah, see, now you're making stuff up, Mario.
No, actually, I'm not. And you know what? The other thing is the numbers are missing. The other thing that's missing are the numbers are not even in the resolution, so the public has no idea how much money you guys are all about to throw away. Okay?
The public needs to understand that this is the JIF that handles this lawsuit.
Now, your premiums go up when you settle nonsense like
The
this.
JIF basically handles this lawsuit, and this is something that the JIF is recommending. If we don't accept this, then we will be held responsible. So, no, you're wrong.
Do you really think with what's going on, do you really think what's going on right now, a jury in Bergen County is going to feel sorry for, do you really think a jury in Bergen County is going to feel sorry for two guys who got into a fight arguing with each other outside of the scope of their employment? Do you really think that's going to happen right now? I don't think so. Don't settle with these guys. And by the way, this is like, we never spoke to Carmagnola in closed session, okay? He never explained that. And well, here's the thing. There's a motion on the floor to table this. Do I have a second?
Second.
I need a roll call.
Okay, Councilperson Scarrow,
Yes.
Sabari,
No.
O,
No?
Sung,
No.
Aversa,
No.
Whoa.
Yes.
Let me do this for the public, because the numbers are not in the resolution. Whenever any decision is made to settle a lawsuit, the governing body would have the attorney handling the matter join a closed session meeting, which Councilman Wu just requested, to explain why a settlement is in the borough's best interest. With this litigation, that has not happened, and this council is about to vote on giving one current employee and one former employee a total of $400,000 without the benefit of an explanation or a basis to vote one way or the other. Okay? I had asked for a borough administrator to explain. Let me do this. Let me have the floor now, and then you can say whatever you want, but don't interrupt me when I speak, because it's more difficult virtually.
We don't like when you lie.
Well, I don't like when you lie, but you do that often. And I don't lie. Here's the thing, right? I had asked...
Let's take the vote.
No, let me finish. Can you mute her?
No.
The vote's on the...
No, I'm in the middle. I won't be interrupted. I run the meeting under NJSA 4860-5.
Mario, you have to pick. We didn't elect the team. So sorry, that's not how it works. Robert,
Okay. I'm going to finish what I'm saying, then we'll unmute you, because you're interrupting me. So, I had also asked our borough administrator to...
Council.
I had also...
Not okay.
No, well, you're interrupting, so I get to speak.
We will hang up, and you will not have a quorum.
Great. Hang up.
Okay? You're being ridiculous.
Go ahead and hang up.
You can't do this.
Well, you shouldn't be interrupting, okay? All I want to do is explain to the public... I want to explain to the public what's going on here. What's wrong with that?
Right, so make sure you give them all the details.
Good, I will. Here we go. I had also asked our borough administrator to explain and recommend a course of action. I asked our borough administrator to explain and recommend a course of action to the council, but she hasn't done so. It's her job to do that, okay?
It's not her
Yes, she's the borough administrator.
But now I'm gonna,
So here's my view of the matter, okay? The Great Englewood Cliffs current and former employee money grab continues with this litigation settlement,
Oh, my God.
right? A dispute between two employees at the time. I know you don't want the public to understand how you're throwing their money away, but
Nonsense.
the public actually works hard for...
Tell them that that settlement includes about $300,000 in legal fees that we could have avoided if the town would have just represented Tracy from the beginning.
I want to just get it. All right, so here's my view of the matter. The Great Englewood Cliffs current and former employee money grab continues. A dispute between two employees at the time, off duty, out of uniform, and before I became mayor. They each sued the other, and one of them sued the town and mayor, of course. Our borough administrator at the time and former police chief were involved in creating a scenario for one of them to bring his claims. And the then chief has heard on an audio recording that he made himself orchestrating one of the claims. Whether or not the borough pays directly or through increased insurance premiums, this is a major problem on its own. We now find ourselves in a health emergency and financial crisis, which makes this even more abhorrent to all of our residents and taxpayers. This is certainly not an essential litigation, and it can wait to be dealt with till later. Even more outrageous is that they both sued each other, and our governing body is about to pay both of them. You would think that at least one was right and one was wrong, but here you're paying both of them, which makes no sense. So here are the proposed settlement terms that... Here are the proposed settlement terms I do not support. McMorrow gets $100,000, Mike McMorrow gets $100,000, and Lieutenant Tracy gets $300,000. I always try to uphold the borough's management accountable. In this case, I have repeatedly asked her to make a recommendation. She hasn't. She refused to. But this is outrageous, guys. You can't be throwing people's money away like this, even if it's insurance money.
Why don't you state the facts?
I just stated it.
Tell the people what our risk is. If we don't agree, what the JIF tells us to, then we're on the hook for the whole amount of money.
Go to trial. Go to trial. You just paid Chalky $700,000 in settlement. Yeah, really. You guys should not be paying this money.
If you want to gamble with your money, go ahead.
Well, why are you paying both? Isn't one right and one wrong?
The settlement that was presented.
It's outrageous. It's not fair to taxpayers.
Let the town represent Tracy from the beginning.
But that's not true. That's absolutely not true. The other thing is that you're very clever in the way you write your resolutions. You don't even tell the public what the dollar amounts are, right?
We didn't write the resolution. We're very clever.
Well, why don't you explain to the public what you're giving away?
But why don't you present the facts the way they are?
They are. You're paying $400,000 for nonsense between two employees who were not even on duty at the time.
I don't disagree with that, but why don't you tell them the facts, though? The fact is, if we don't agree, we are, as a borough, we are on the hook for the whole amount of the money on our own. That's the risk that I'm not willing to take.
These people need to know that you're going to trial, and you're going to beat them at trial, okay? The financial reality of the world right now has changed.
It's not our choice.
It is your choice. No. You are...
The financial reality is, Marion, you're willing to gamble your taxpayers' dollars, and I'm not.
No, that's not true. It's not a gamble. There's no jury in Bergen County that's going to give these two guys $400,000 for calling each other names.
You know, the other lawsuit that's still pending from Carol McMorrow on the same situation.
That's garbage also. All these lawsuits are garbage, okay?
The town is spending a lot of money.
The Karen Geiger lawsuits are garbage. They're all garbage, okay? You people have to grow up.
You would have had to deal with Tracy if you would have done the right thing and had our insurance company represent him against McMorrow.
Listen, there's someone else here who's the borough administrator. If she chooses not to present it to the insurance company, that's on her, but the insurance company is involved.
Hold on, I'm gonna speak now, okay? No, you're not doing
No,
that.
the whole thing is a setup.
No, it's not a
No,
setup, and you're not gonna
it's
throw
a
me
setup.
under the bus.
You and Lieutenant- No.
When that grievance, when that lawsuit arrived, your email to me specifically said, do not send it to the attorney. That's
No.
exactly what you said.
Yeah, there was
You're doing this on purpose to throw me under the public, with the public. Absolutely not. Okay? You have emails to me, and they're public record that say, do not send this lawsuit to our insurance company. It's between two individuals, and it has nothing to do with the borough. When we met in closed session, Megan Mariano from Carmignola's office stated that this is a recommendation by the attorneys of the JIF. I have to rely on their recommendation. I'm not an attorney. I have to rely on our insurance carrier on what they recommend. And they recommended settling so that we don't go to court, lose, and pay out more money.
Okay, so what's lost in all that, and that was one of the most corrupt statements I've ever heard, is that you were the business administrator, the borough administrator. You were the borough administrator. You were in charge of presenting that to the insurance company. But that doesn't change the underlying
You know
facts.
what, let the people, let the
You're out of
people
order.
over the email that you sent.
That's fine. They could also open a phone call before it, which said that you told me that this is a matter between two private
I
citizens.
never said that.
Look,
I never said that.
This council is, here's the thing, you guys should table this. This is the same council that tried to throw the town under the bus last year with a settlement with affordable housing in Normandy. This is the same council that brought back Al Wunsch, mute yourself. This is the same council that brought Al Wunsch back last month to try to do whatever he's going to do with affordable housing. And then this is also the same council that's about to throw $400,000 away at these two guys.
You're running late, Mario, you're running.
No, it's not to my running mate. I think all these, you know what, and I've been very clear about this, always. All these lawsuits are garbage, okay? People have to grow up,
Exactly, but you know what?
and you have to stop enabling them. Ms. Duffy, Ms. Sabari,
That decision back then.
you're enabling these people, because the way you behave enables them.
No.
Don't bring me into your semantics.
You could listen to the tapes that Chief Chaffee recorded, and you will hear the orchestration of these litigations.
On the resolution.
It's not fair to the taxpayers to do this, and I want all the taxpayers to understand that.
Risk $1 million.
You're not risking anything. You're not risking anything.
I know. Can we just please vote on the resolution?
Of course.
Thank you. Motion to move resolution number 2020-74, authorizing the signing of the settlement agreement for general release in the matter of McMorrow versus Tracy versus the Borough of Englewood Cliffs.
And just so everyone knows, this is on advice of counsel from the JIF Insurance Company. That's what this is about.
Well, I haven't heard from that council, so maybe you're having side conversations.
Baloney, Mario, you're full of baloney. I second the motion.
You're lying again, Dad.
Okay, let's vote. Let's vote.
Councilperson Sparrow?
No?
Sabari?
Yes.
O?
Yes.
Song?
Yes.
Aversa?
Again, not that I like it, but this is, relieving the risk of the borough.
You're throwing money away, Ed.
Yes.
You could convince yourself of anything, Ed. Any idiot could do that.
Wendy, it's okay.
Any idiot could convince themselves of anything, so.
Woo?
You're pretty good at it then. You must be the biggest idiot on earth.
Woo?
Ed, that,
We have not, I have not heard from Carmignolo.
That's a lie. You're just lying.
Councilman?
Debbie, you said the word lie like 30 times.
You were in that meeting.
Councilman, Megan Mariano was in the meeting with us.
You were with us.
Megan Mariano,
No?
I'm sorry?
Maybe you didn't know he was there.
yeah, well, listen, Ed, your name calling and trying to laugh all the time is not gonna get you through anywhere. You've proven that in the last election.
It's okay. Keep going, Mario. Keep it up.
Councilman, what's your vote? I didn't hear you.
Abstain.
Thank you.
All right, good. Guys, congratulations, you just threw $400,000 away.
You have to open to the public for the ordinance. Ordinance 20...
And by the way, I think the resolution should reflect the amounts that you're actually paying these guys so that you can actually see it. Because right now, it doesn't have a number in there. And, it's funny how you try to hide things. It's $100,000 and $300,000.
Hide anything.
Well, why can't the public know what the numbers are?
Put the numbers in there. Nobody asked us about that. You had the resolution. If you had a problem with it, why didn't you say something?
I didn't write it. Our borough council wrote it.
You had access to it prior to tonight's meeting.
I'm not the borough council here. I am an attorney, but I'm not our borough council. I'm the mayor.
I know. You're just the council. If it's not your way, it's no way. Let's just move on.
Well, Look, you all ran on protecting the citizens' money in this town, and you're not doing that.
We're moving forward. Here we go. Is that?
So ordinance 20-01, an ordinance amending the code of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs, Chapter 2, Section 13, entitled, quote, Police Department, close quote, to update the table of organization and other sections. Can I have a motion to open to the public on this?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so this is a public hearing on an ordinance, and the public gets to voice its views or comments and ask questions. So we're going to follow the same procedure again. If you're on Zoom, use the raised hand icon or thumbs up icon. We'll recognize that as raised hands as well, if it's easier. And then we'll switch over to the phone line. So if there's anyone from the public who wishes to be heard just on this ordinance, please raise your hand. You know what, actually, if our borough council or borough administrator could just summarize what this ordinance is for the public, it would be useful.
It is discussing the organization of, table of organization for the police department, and it's summing it up, it's for, an amendment that we had before, and it's for 1 chief, 2 captains, I believe 7 lieutenants, and I don't have the rest of the ordinance in front of me, it's for 6 sergeants, I believe.
I think it's important to reiterate that it's up to. It's not a fixed number. It's up to 7, up to 2 captains, up to 7 lieutenants, and up to 5 sergeants, and up to 13 patrol persons.
Correct.
Okay, so I'd like to hear the public's views on, you know, I think the police department is top-heavy, but it's something that we inherited, and I'm not sure how we would change that at this point. If council has any ideas, please present them as well. Okay, I'm gonna, I don't see anyone on Zoom, so I'm going to open up the phone line.
Anyone, no one from the public on Zoom wishes to speak?
Do you see them?
No.
I don't see anyone either. How many people do you see?
22.
All right, so there's 22 people on Zoom right now. No one is raising their hand. I will now unmute the line.
The conference has been unmuted.
Hello, if you're on the phone line and you wish to comment just on that ordinance that we're discussing right now, please state your name and address. Okay, I just want to make sure that you're hearing me if you're on the phone line. Can somebody just say something?
I can say it's perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you for doing...
You're welcome.
Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, I'm not hearing any questions on the phone line, so I'm going to put the phone line back on mute.
The conference has been muted.
Okay, so can I have a motion to close the public portion on this ordinance?
Motion closed.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll need a vote, a motion to authorize it. I'm sorry, who moved it?
I did that.
Okay.
Okay. Aversa and Sabari.
Versus Sabari, seconded, and could we have a roll call?
Councilperson Sparrow,
Abstain?
Sabari,
Yes.
O,
Yes.
Song,
Yes.
Aversa,
Yes.
Wu,
For the record, I would have supported having, roughly half of our police force be patrol. So of the 2814, I think we're just slightly off on this. So for that reason, I'm going to vote no. But I did support the promotion of the 2 captains. Thank you.
2002, Mayor.
Okay, 2002, an ordinance amending Chapter 3, Section 3-12, entitled, quote, "Resident and Visitor Parking on Certain Designated Public Streets," close quote. Specifically, Section 3-12.7 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey. Could I have the Borough Administrator just summarize that for us?
The restaurant that opened up a year and a half ago, Brownstone, the patrons were overcrowding the parking lot, and the parking was being carried onto Clifton Terrace. There was an ordinance stating that those businesses could not have parking on Clifton Terrace. Now it's being carried over to Floyd Street, and taking up spots there. That's why the ordinance is now being amended to include Floyd Street.
Okay. All right, can I have a motion to open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're following the same procedure again for the public that's on Zoom. Please just raise your hand or thumbs up, and we'll recognize you to ask a question just on this ordinance. You see it? Okay, we don't see anyone on Zoom. I'm going to unmute the phone and ask them the same thing.
The conference has been unmuted.
Hi, for everyone on the phone line, if you have a question regarding just this one ordinance, please state your name and address. I don't hear anyone asking any questions. Could someone on the phone line just say something so we know?
Yeah, hi, this is Maria. I'm still on the phone. No questions here. I think I'm the only one online.
Great, thank you, appreciate that. Thank you for hanging in there. Okay.
Good, thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to close the public portion of this?
So moved.
The conference has been muted.
Have a second?
Okay, it was O and Sabari. All in
Okay.
favor?
Anyone opposed? No? Okay.
Motion?
Motion 20-03.
No, we didn't vote on it.
Oh, can I have a motion to authorize or approve 20-02?
Second.
Can I have a roll call?
Councilpersons Farrow?
Yes.
Sabari?
Yes.
O?
Yes.
Sung?
Yes.
Aversa? Councilman he is muting himself. Councilman Aversa? Wu?
Yes.
Councilman Aversa, you keep muting yourself.
No, you keep muting me.
No, you're raising your hand.
Yeah, because I'm muted, I know. It keeps muting itself. I'm not touching it.
Okay,
But,
don't touch it.
so yes.
Thank you. It
Okay.
passes, Mayor.
So you don't have to put the garbage cans on Floyd anymore?
No.
20-03, an ordinance amending the code of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs, Section 2-13, entitled, quote, Police Department, close quote, to amend Section 2.13-8.1, entitled, quote, Procedure hyphen sworn position / patrol officers, close quote. Have a second?
Second.
We have to have a public portion first.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's still open.
We're moving open to the public.
Okay, I want you.
Yeah. All in favor of opening to the public?
Aye.
Okay. Again, if there's anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on Zoom, just raise your hand or thumbs up, and we'll recognize you. State your name and address.
The conference has been unmuted.
For everyone on the phone line, if you wish to be heard on ordinance 20-03, please state your name and address. And just to make sure everyone's hearing me, could someone say something?
I can still hear you.
Thanks, appreciate you doing that. And anybody want to be heard? Okay. Hearing no one, have a motion to close the public portion on this?
So moved.
Second.
The conference has been muted.
Can I have a motion to approve 20-03?
I need a second.
Second.
Councilpersons Farrow,
Abstain?
Sabari,
Yes.
O,
Yes.
Song,
Yes.
Aversa,
Yes.
Wu,
Yes.
passes hand.
Okay, that's all for ordinances. We have committee and council member reports. Let's do this. Let's just start off with Councilwoman Sabari. Would you like to give us a report? Just state your committee.
I've been working with the borough administrator and several of the department heads over the last week to try to work with them on their budgets. I think we're at a point where we can now have the committee heads come in and speak with the council as a whole, with our CFO and our auditor.
Okay, when are the budgets due now? I know they rolled out the dates, I believe.
I'm not sure what the date is, but at least last year, when the date was supposed to be sometime in April, I think we were in July or August. So hopefully this year, we'll definitely be able to submit our budget sometime in May. Based on the availability of the council to come and sit and have some open public meetings. It's going to be difficult because of the situation we're in right now, but I gather we'll do the same type of a Zoom meeting to discuss the budget.
We could do a Zoom, and we could also share pages if we have to with the public through Zoom.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever done that in the past as far as sharing drafts with the public. I think as long as our borough council doesn't have a problem with that, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Councilwoman O, do you have a report?
No, I don't.
Councilman Aversa, do you have a report?
Just make it safe, everybody.
Councilman Song, do you have a report?
Just reiterating what Debbie was talking about, trying to coordinate a meeting with Mark, Neville, and Lisette, and the mayor to just review the budget. And also, please stay safe, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Hopefully we have a meeting next month, physically.
Thank you. Councilman Farrow? Sorry, Councilman Farrow, do you have a report? No? Okay. Councilman Wu, do you have a report?
Nothing on beautification or historical, though we are writing a new history right now that we've never faced before. I just want to thank DPW, police, and definitely want to thank you, Mayor, Lizette, and Cameron for being there in person today to get this meeting set up so we can continue to carry on with borough business. Just want to thank all the doctors and medical workers in town for continuing to do what they do as well, and to make sure the public health and safety of the public is of the most highest importance. So wishing everyone a healthy April, and catch up soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I gave our COVID-19 update earlier, and there's an item here on Census 2020. You want to speak to that?
I'm going to turn around so you want to go to yours.
Yeah.
The census could not have come at a worse time, but unfortunately, it is our duty as Americans to fill out the census and make sure it's submitted in a good time. The original end date is July 31st, but it's been extended to August 14th. If you know of anyone that's having trouble filling out the census via computer, it's the first time it's ever been done, feel free to tell them to contact the office. There's also phone numbers they can contact, or English, Spanish, Italian, there's a whole slew of languages, I just can't think of them all. Also, if they're not able to do it online and they don't want to contact me for assistance, the census will be mailing out a card, and it can be filled out on paper. Preferably, it's quicker and easier to do it online. It took me exactly 7 minutes, so please pass on that message to your neighbors when checking in on them. Thank you.
Actually, I'd like to say something about the census, Mayor. I completed my census online the other day. It literally took me less than 5 minutes. You just need the letter that they had sent to you in the mail, because you need that ID number to log in or sign in when you're doing it online. It's very important that everybody gets counted for, and it's not that difficult. It takes less than 5 minutes, so I would encourage everyone to fill it out as soon as they can. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that. When I met with Chief Henkelman yesterday, we were just discussing the unintended great consequence of the pandemic is that everyone's out walking and just running, walking, rollerblading, skateboarding, and bike riding. So there's a lot more pedestrian traffic in our streets, and I know he shared my concern as well about our drivers, and the electric signboards were changed to just kind of ask drivers to be more cognizant of the additional pedestrian traffic. So hopefully once the pandemic is over, we'll just have just as many walkers out as we have now. So let's look towards better days, brighter days, and healthier days. With that, that's all I have for tonight. Everybody stay well, stay healthy. If you need anything, call me. If you need groceries and you're a senior, call Borough Hall. If you need a face mask, contact Borough Hall as well. If you need anything else, also, of course, we're here to help you. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Good night, everyone.
All right.